Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. It's Wednesday, September 15th. Important video today on EIDL loan and grant news. If you're a small business owner or sole proprietor, this video is for you. We're answering our most commonly asked questions. We've had tens of thousands of questions over the past several weeks related to the EIDL program. In this video, I'm going to answer the most common, so stick around till the end. I'll keep this video short. Most importantly, give this video a thumbs up. Together, let's try to get to 2,000 likes. And if you're new, welcome. Hit subscribe to join our community and find out first about important funding information for you or for your small business. Okay, let me set the stage here. Huge thank you to the thousands of you who've left comments over the past several weeks. I mean, many of you have been leaving comments for a year and a half. You've been incredible supporters of our channel, and you are always asking us questions that allow myself and our entire team to research, talk to our SBA contacts, loan officers, etc. It took a while, but we rounded up the most common questions you're having, especially as it relates to EIDL 2.0, the increases, reconsideration, and the grants, and we've summarized them here. If you want to read all of these after watching, the link to this post is right in the description. Now, if you are looking for support for yourself, for your small business, now is the time to take action. So if you're blocked in any way from applying for an EIDL grant or a loan or other government funding or other private funding, watch this quick video. I did an in-depth piece yesterday on household income, the new census data that showed household income has been decreasing. We put up a poll yesterday and 2,000 of you responded. 67% of you say your household income over the past year has decreased. 22% of you say it's increased. 11% say it stayed the same. That's much higher than I thought, but it's supported by the new census data, which shows household income is down for the first time in a decade. At the same time, inflation is going up, so the cost of the goods and services you paid for is increased. So your real purchasing power, even if your income has stayed the same, in all actuality has gone down. The good news is there are programs out there like the SBA's program. The bad news is many of you are stuck with common questions. So let me dive right in. What are the new rules under EIDL 2.0? Done a few videos on this in the past couple weeks, but in short, the loan limit is increased from $500K to $2 million. So if you capped out at $500K, you now have a chance to request a larger amount. There's more forms, there's more collateral required. We go into all of that. And if you need personalized help for any of this, you can join our waiting list, eidl.me. That's eidl.me to join the waiting list to get one-on-one help from our team, whether it's for an increase or reconsideration. Just put your name down there today. We will let you know when a slot opens up. Then you can decide if you want help or not. But by all means, take action today. Drop your email at that link so you have a shot at getting personalized EIDL support. Okay, so that's the main change under EIDL 2.0, but there are other rule changes. The big one is uses of funds. You can now use EIDL loans, past, present, or future, to pay off business debt, business credit cards, business loans, anything else that has a higher interest rate than EIDL loans, which is likely all other business debt you have. You can now use that EIDL funding to pay that off. So that's good news. The second most common question we've gotten, I've already applied for the EIDL program. Can I increase my amount now that EIDL 2.0 is out? So that depends. You can use our EIDL calculator. We have it on our website, or you can go to eidl2.com to use our calculator and quickly see how much you may be eligible for. It's fairly easy math. Let's say you got $100,000 in gross revenue for your business in 2019 and you didn't have any cost of goods sold. That means your EIDL loan amount is 2 times the $100,000 because it's for 24 months of working capital. So therefore you would be eligible for up to $200,000. If your gross revenue was $500K and you had 0 cost of goods sold, your maximum eligible amount would be $1 million. So you can play around with various scenarios. We go into definitions for what gross revenue and cost of goods are on our EIDL calculator. I have been denied for the EIDL loan. How do I apply for reconsideration? And this is so important because most of you watching these videos still have been denied and you're applying for reconsideration. Our latest poll 1 week ago, 4,000 votes. 52% of you say you've been denied and are applying for reconsideration. So there's a good chance you fall into that bucket. We have a reconsideration template you can use. We can also help you customize it if you want as part of our one-on-one support. The bottom line is, if you think you're eligible, you should get in your reconsideration template. Fourth main question, does the SBA still require 4506T form? Yes, they do. Nothing's changed there. We know it's a problem for many of you waiting for the IRS to send your tax transcript to the SBA for review, but they haven't changed anything there. Back in June and July, there was talk about changing that requirement, but so far, nothing has changed. The SBA needs to get an official tax transcript from the IRS to evaluate your EIDL application. Number 5, what do I do if my business is owned by multiple people? You need to put down any owner that owns more than 20% of the company. That's an SBA requirement, so keep that in mind. If anyone else owns more than 20%, you need to make sure they are down on your original EIDL application. Same holds true for the increase when it comes to personal liability forms. Anyone who owns more than 20% will have to fill out that personal liability form. Okay, number 6, and the most common question over the past week, why don't I have the blue Request More Funds button on my EIDL portal? That's this button right here. Many of you don't see it yet. You just see your green status, funds have been dispersed to your account, or some other green status, but you don't see that Request More Funds, and you're asking, what's going on? Well, there could be a couple reasons. The first one is that you reach the maximum amount you can borrow, and thus the SBA doesn't think you're eligible for an increase, so they haven't given you that option. The second possibility is that the SBA hasn't given you that option yet. They are phasing this out. They made this available to the people they thought most qualified, so you may still have to wait a bit longer, but no matter what, the SBA is not reviewing EIDL loan increases over $500,000 until October 8th. So keep that in mind. You still have time to see that button, fill out information, and request more funds. But we've listed the 5 new forms that you'd have to fill out if and when you can request more funds, so you can get a head start to gather some of that information together to apply for that increase. But if you haven't seen it yet and you think you're eligible, hang tight. Number 7, is the SBA still awarding targeted EIDL advances? Will the parameters change? The answer is yes, they're still giving out targeted advances every single week. This is the report from last week. Over 400,000 targeted EIDL advances have been funded. It's gone up quite a bit. Only $3.5 billion of the targeted advances have been funded. The SBA is encouraging anyone who thinks they live in a low-income community defined by the census and meet the other eligibility requirements, 30% revenue reduction, to apply. To go here to covid19relief.sba.gov. Tell a friend. I keep saying this, but they have so much money to give out here. Unfortunately, the rules have not changed yet, so the best you can do is find a friend who's in a low-income community. You can check on our app. We have a lookup. You can put in your address and see if you're in the low-income area. The app is Hello Skip in the App Store and Google Play, but the SBA continues to approve as many people as possible that are eligible. It does not look like Congress will change that anytime soon. Number 8, what is the priority period for EIDL 2.0? As I mentioned, applicants $500,000 and below are in a priority period now until October 8th, so still a few weeks left for loan officers to review your application. If you're in reconsideration or you've applied for the first time, then after October 8th, the requests for over $500,000 and above will start to be reviewed. Number 9, I have been approved. When will I get my funds? The SBA reports they will deposit funds in your bank account within 5 to 10 business days. In our experience, we've seen it sometimes quicker, 3 to 5 business days. But if it's longer than 10 business days, you should get in touch with the SBA. We have heard reports of issues with bank accounts. Speaking of, point number 11, I was approved, but my funds were returned due to, quote, bank error. What happened and what do I do? So this could happen if your bank flagged the transfer or deposit for some reason. The EIDL program has experienced a lot of fraud, and the SBA has been hesitant in some cases to resend the money. If your bank rejected it, you need to talk to your bank about it. The bank may have said, this doesn't match, there's a mismatch in the name that's being deposited and the name of the account, which is actually more common than we thought. So the money wasn't accepted and it's back in the SBA pot of money. If you're in that position, contact the SBA. Many of you have faced this problem and you've been struggling for months to get the SBA to pay attention to your issue, but you need to get in touch with them. We have the phone number here, or email disastercustomerservice@sba.gov. Those are the 11 most common questions we've heard. If we missed something today, let us know in the comments. We'll do a round 2 of this soon. Our mission at Skip is to help you find out about all available funding options, in addition to other government services and information. But in particular, if you're a small business owner or entrepreneur, we want to help you maximize any funding that's available for you. So hit subscribe, turn on the alerts. If you want one-on-one EIDL or funding help, go to eidl.me. Add your name to the waiting list. We'll let you know as spots become available. Most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.